Hi, my name is Christanna, and today we will be discussing a chaining plan for a 20-year-old employee named Orion who has basic computer skills, including using a mouse, typing, and logging into his employee portal. However, he has difficulty independently completing the sequences of steps required to submit a paid time off request through the company's online timekeeping system. The target behavior is independently submitting a paid time off PTO request through the employee's online timekeeping system. This behavior is defined as Orion independently completing each step of the PTO request in the correct order, beginning when he logs into the employee portal and ending when he verifies that the request has been successfully submitted without additional prompts or assistance needed. Examples include logging into the employee portal, navigating to the time off section, entering the correct dates and leave type, reviewing the request, submitting it, and verifying that it was successfully submitted. Another example would be independently completing every step of the PTO request from start to finish. Non-examples include stopping before the request is submitted, completing the steps out of order, selecting incorrect information, submitting an incomplete request, or requiring additional prompts or assistance to complete or submit the request. There are 10 steps in our task analysis for the chaining plan for Orion. First, Orion is to log into the employee portal using the assigned username and password given to him. He will then navigate to the time off or leave request section. Thirdly, select the option to request time off. Fourth, he will choose the date or dates being requested off. 5, he would select the correct leave type. 6, he would enter the number of hours requested if needed. 7, he would add any required comments or notes about his time off. 8, he would review the request to make sure all of the information is correct. 9, he would submit the PTO request. And 10, he would verify that the PTO request was successfully submitted by checking for a confirmation message or request status. For this teaching plan, I selected total task chaining because it allows Orion to practice every step of submitting a PTO request during each teaching session instead of focusing only on one step at a time. Since Orion already has some of the skills needed, such as logging into the employee portal, using a mouse, and all of those great things, this approach gives him the opportunity to practice the entire sequence while receiving prompts only for the steps where he needs support. Nugrahani and Suparmi describe total task chaining as an instructional approach that gives learners the opportunity to complete the entire task analysis while receiving prompts only for the steps when support is needed for them. For this teaching plan, that approach is appropriate because Orion already has the computer skills necessary to maneuver through a computer, but still needs support completing the entire PTO request independently and correctly. As he becomes more independent, those prompts will be gradually faded until he is able to complete the entire task on his own. Instruction will be provided using total task chaining. At the beginning of each teaching session, Orion will be given the instruction to submit a PTO request through the employee portal. He will then have the opportunity to complete every step of the task analysis from start to finish. If Orion is unable to complete a step independently or does not respond within a reasonable amount of time, prompts will be provided using a most to least prompting hierarchy. Prompts may include a model prompt, gestural prompt, verbal prompt, or even a visual prompt. It just depends on the level of support needed for Orion. Behavior-specific praise will be provided following each independently completed step to encourage continued independent responding, and additional praise will be provided after the entire PTO request has been successfully submitted. Completing the PTO request also provides a natural source of reinforcement because the learner has successfully completed the task and submitted the request. As mentioned, a most to least prompting hierarchy will be used, beginning with the level of support needed for Orion to complete the steps successfully. As he demonstrates more independently responding, prompts will be systematically faded so that the naturally occurring cues within the employee portal guide responses instead of the prompts. This approach is consistent with Blair et al., who describes systematically fading prompts to transfer stimulus control from prompts to the natural cues within the behavior chain. Mastery will be met when Orion independently completes every step of the PTO request task analysis with at least 90% accuracy across 4 consecutive teaching sessions without additional prompts.